All right, folks, welcome back. This is session number 21. Our party in the last session had just made their way north from the city of Paranch towards the city of Zadaxi, where once again, Hamilton the Harmonious rewarded our heroes with an army of oozes from across a bridge over a dried up riverbed. But after a fiercely fought battle, the party ventured northward and finally made their way to the big walled city of Zadaxi, where they now find themselves waking up in a large dormitory room of cots in a tavern called the Mighty Quill. It is early summer. It's the month of Lipan, which is equivalent to June in the real world calendar, and it's the 8th of the month. You're waking up and noticing there are about 20 cots in the room, and most of them looks like young people sleeping on the cots. So it's a pretty busy sounding room. Some people are starting to wake up. You see some people clearly still snoring or nursing a hangover from the prior evening. But one by one, members of the party are starting to wake up.
Do I spot anyone who looks like they are cat-oriented? I'd like to find a way to communicate with Twitch. Okay. And so I was thinking if there's the option of maybe looking for someone who could teach me how to speak with Twitch. Yes, I do want to learn cat.
Using your best insight, you do notice a few people sleeping in the room that look like university students.
Are they still sleeping then?
A couple of them are waking up, but a couple of them are still in bed.
Alright. I'm gonna go stretch, and wander over to the nearest university student that is not sleeping.
So you come across a young woman. She looks to be about 19, 20 years of age. She is wearing, she's like waking up and putting her clothes on. She's got a belt pouch. She's wearing leather. She's carrying a weapon. She has slightly pointed ears, so you can guess that she's an elf or a half elf. And she eyes you with one eyebrow raised, like, who was this bard looking at me, not saying anything this morning? She kind of just like looks you up and down as she's folding her clothes and getting her packed ready for the day.
Morning. You look like you study here, and I'm a traveler, well, here for a while, it looks like. And I thought maybe you would know something that'd be useful. Or something I knew.
Useful?
Well,
I know all kinds of useful things. What specifically are you looking for?
Let me introduce myself first. I'm sorry. Where are my manners? I'm Melody. I am a bard, and, well, you can tell, Pat's Kerfoplik and Bandor. And I'm looking to, she pulls Twitch out of her little sling, to communicate with this little guy. But I don't speak feline. Do you happen to know someone who does?
She harumphs and says, yeah, I don't study animals. Maybe there's a book on it in the library. You could go across the street to the Library of Lore here in Zadaxi. Or maybe the bartender downstairs knows somebody good with cats. I kind of stay away from pesky things like that. No offense to your little kitten. Your little kitten is beautiful and gorgeous, but I'm a student and I can't really afford a cat right now.
All right. Well, thank you. She tucks Twitch back into the pouch. Have a good day, and perhaps we'll see each other around. Who knows?
Perhaps. I'm staying here at the inn. Maybe I'll see you around. My name's Burel, by the way.
Burel?
Mm-hmm.
Nice to meet you. And she heads back to the group to see if anyone else is up.
Silren is technically awake, because he doesn't need to sleep, he only needs to trance, but he's also taking a nap because it feels nice. So, I mean, as you enter, Silren kind of, I can't show on my camera because I don't have a camera, but Silren kind of, like, peeks open one eye and notices you, and then closes it and goes back to sleeping.
Can I make a perception check to see if I notice that?
I'm not trying to be sneaky.
So we can say that you noticed that for sure. You've been
else?
around this elf for a while to kind of know his sleep and trance patterns.
I've been awake for a while. I'm actually in the woods. And just aside of the like the near forest by the inn.
Okay, so if you left the inn, you would have had to leave through the gates of Five Well Square and then walk west to where the forest is, because there is a forest that's west outside the city walls.
Okay, yeah. So
you left the party.
Temporarily, yes.
Okay, what are you doing there?
Picking berries and just, enjoying the nature.
Okay, so Sibo is kind of feeling his hippie vibes this morning. As Bat wakes up, he also notices that Wasabi is like kind of stretching and waking up, but for the first time in a very long time, Bat, you hear Wasabi's bones sort of creaking a little bit. This is something that you've never noticed before happen to Wasabi.
Well, I don't know how to take that, but I guess I'll just
So I'm going to ignore it.
I'm gonna put my hand out so you can climb up on it and get on my shoulder.
Huh? And he hops right onto your shoulder. Doesn't seem to have any problems with his body. He seems to be happy and excited and hungry. The party is noticing some of the other people in the room have stored their belongings in thick, in large chests with thick padlocks at the base of each of their beds, and they're starting to congregate downstairs for breakfast.
Melody's gonna go over and poke Sillerin until he gets up.
What?
Nope, you haven't been sleeping for a while.
5 more minutes. We've been walking for a long while. Fine. Sillerin sits up.
Are you all down for breakfast?
Sure. I mean, I need to eat to live, so generally won't deny that. I'm being sassy, and I leave. And I go downstairs.
And where's Sibo? Did anyone see him leave this morning?
Well, I'm technically never unconscious when I sleep, so yeah, probably. Unless he was trying to sneak out.
I imagine you would have noticed Sibo leave.
Yes, I did. He left about like an hour or two ago.
Should we go find him? After breakfast? Or before breakfast, actually?
Sure. I mean, it didn't... He took a bow, which I think could mean he was trying to kill someone, but... Actually, there's no but. He could be trying to kill someone, and I'm not going to stop him from that. His business is his business, and if he wants to kill someone...
So the party starts to get dressed and make their way downstairs to breakfast, as Sibo continues looking for berries. Meanwhile, Emir had hitched a ride with a merchant the night before and finds himself waking up in a grand, half-timbered building in the northwest part of town. This building is called the Black Arms Tavern. Emir wakes up in a single room. It's a very sort of Spartan yet comfortable room with many blankets. There's even a chair and a desk in the room. There's even a window in the room, so you wake up to sunlight. The only thing you really sort of remember from the prior night is that the whole vibe you got from this tavern was that there were much more experienced adventurers than you sort of staying at this place. But Emir, you're waking up alone in your room, kind of figuring out what you want to do for the day.
Just, I'll kind of head down towards, I don't know if there's still people that are still, I guess, around doing this sort of drinking thing or whatever, but
yeah.
I guess attempt to glean any information off from them that I guess might be useful if there's, I don't know, anything going on of interest or...
Yeah. So you go ahead, Emir, you go ahead and wake up and walk yourself down to the main dining area downstairs. You see the pub owner who you met last night, who's also the bartender. He's pretty tall, half elf, about 5'11". He's got long black hair, brown skin, and yellowish white eyes. And he says, hey, mate, breakfast.
Yes, yeah, food wouldn't be bad. How much is what are you selling?
What do you like? Eggs and cheese, dried scallop and cabbage, eel and acorn bread, shellfish and mustard. You tell me.
Cheap food. Probably.
The cheapest food is boiled eggs and cheese with a tankard of beer. It's a tankard of beer. That'll be 10 coppers, please.
That'll work.
Mug full of hair.
You do drink beer, do you? He's looking up at you. He's much shorter than you. But he's looking up at you. Like, you do drink beer, right? So, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, that'll be 10 coppers. Have a seat.
All right, so yeah, I guess I'd give him the coppers, sit down and all that. I don't know, ask him if there's anything going on, I don't know.
He shrugs his shoulders and says, there's tons of stuff going on in Zadash. The Turtle Festival is coming up next weekend. The owlbear races are coming in pretty soon. And I don't know what you're into, but for some reason, there are all these women spending the night here in the tavern. And he motions with his head over at the other table, the other large table that you see here. You see 4 women, 4 female adventurers, and a tall, blonde-haired man. Looks like he's like very pompously telling stories to all of these women who are around him.
I'll yell over at them and be like, hey, you guys heard of any other groups of people coming in here, sort of adventure types?
So you're making your way over to their table?
I don't know, yeah, that, or I could just yell at them. I don't know. I feel like that's probably the more polite thing to do.
You tell me what you want to do. You want to walk over? Do you want to shout? It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll walk over. Probably.
Right. So Emir, you walk over and you sort of interrupt this tall, blonde-haired man. He's got a light brown beard, small blue eyes. His hair is kind of parted on one side. He's wearing leather armor, but you can see his muscles and his arms are exposed. And the way that he's sitting down, holding his beer stein, it looks like he's intentionally flexing in front of these women. And the women look up at you, and then the man looks up at you and says, adventures? I've had tons of adventures in my day. Well met. And he extends his long arm to you and says, my name is Juan.
I'd shake his hand and be like, well met, sir. My name's Emir. Have you heard of any other travelers coming through here recently?
He curses with his lips toward the other women sitting at the table, who all sort of like coo in reaction and blink at you or wave at you, saying hi. They all seem like adventurers as well. You see a halfling illusionist who's sort of short and fat with silver hair. You see a female pixie, which you haven't seen very much in your travels. She's very short, about 2'3", exceptionally beautiful, long red hair. There's another halfling fighter with long golden hair and green eyes, and average height female fighter, also with long dark hair. They're all kind of like talking to each other, eating some bread and fish, and just kind of looking you up and down.
Or I should like look to him and be like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you guys. I should ask as you as well. I'm looking for a specific group of adventurers that I've been trying to roll with for a little while.
The female fighter looks at you and says, specific group, what's their name?
Go by the Bonfire Crew, or I've heard a couple of different names here and there.
Doesn't ring a bell.
All right, no worries. I appreciate it.
Juan, the tall man at the front of the table says, hasn't rung a bell either. I mean, this is the Black Arms after all. If your party is not well known in these parts, you should probably go to one of the lesser establishments.
I mean, I guess you could be that way about it. I'll grab my food and leave.
Don't be a snail, sir, and make your way out of here. I would suggest Malo Misto if your friends are sailors, and I would suggest the Mighty Quill if they're a hodgepodge group of potential murderers.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, have a wonderful afternoon. Wink at him as I walk away.
Yeah. One of the women blows a kiss at you, and the man just kind of smirks as you leave and make your way towards the center square. Meanwhile, the others in the party, save Sibo, are congregating around breakfast, and you see Garmo, the bartender that you met the night before. He's for those of you who are new to Garmo, he is a male halfling, got a nose ring, short brown hair with a shock of white. He's aging, even though he's quite young, and he's got many tattoos of quills on his arm. Maybe he was a writer or something in his past. And he calls out at you and says, "So which beer do you want this morning?"
Oh, my mind has got to be sharp. I've got many things I want to do today, like, and I pull out a blank piece of paper. Never mind. You don't need to know the things I've got to do today, but it's a lengthy list. And my mind's got to be sharp. I will have 3 eggs with a side of toast, please.
Coming right up. That's 2 coppers. Anybody else?
Slam down 2.
Whatever breakfast is on hand doesn't much matter to me.
Same as him. That's 2 coppers. And you, man with the horns?
No, I'm okay.
You're not hungry.
Not particularly, and I'm gonna pull out food from my cloak.
Mate, are you a student?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a student.
Oh, okay.
Why would you ask?
Well, I mean, I know lots of students come here, spend more money on drink than food, and that's not a good way to live a life. I was going to have a little bit of pity for you. If you're not hungry, don't let me impose.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a question for you, actually.
Yeah.
Would you happen to know where I could find someone good with cats?
Someone good with cats, like a cat wrangler.
Yes.
Maybe a circus act would know. There are some children who function as sort of like acrobats by the poor docks in town. They stand in elaborate poses, and sometimes they work with animals. Maybe a child would know, but right across the street, it's the Library of Lore here in Zadaxi. You could do some research. Talk to the librarian.
Thank you.
Wait, Melody, I have an idea. You know who's really good at speaking to cats? Cats. And you can speak to them with magic temporarily, so you may just be able to ask, "Hey, how do I speak your language?" And then, I don't know, in your limited communication, they may be able to teach it to you.
Good idea. I can try that. But I may have to
Yes, I
find
am quite smart.
an adult cat, because I feel like, unfortunately, Pat's Twitch. I don't know that he would know, she would know much, they would know much, not quite sure, about the language of cats. Haven't had much experience. They popped out of a mug, and now they're mine.
Garmo overhears this conversation, and he shouts to you, by the Poor Docks, there's another pub. It's called Malo Misto, and there's always cats running around on the docks chasing after rats.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good luck. Good luck.
I don't appreciate the rat chasing.
Well, what do you reckon cats love to eat most, Mr. Horns? It's rats.
Yeah, I know it's rats. I just don't appreciate it.
Well, the natural predator of a rat is a cat.
As friend to rats, I do not appreciate rats being eaten.
Interesting. Do you speak rat by any chance?
No. I just like rats. As you can tell by my clearly ornate, beautiful mask.
I suppose if you were into rats, you could also do some research at the local library. Or, where cats are, rats will surely be found.
No, I'll just I'll just ask someone to speak with animals. I'm good.
Okay. So the party gets their breakfast served, and they start making some plans for the day. Meanwhile, Sibo has found some berries in the nearby forest. And what is Sibo doing next?
I'm on my way back to the inn.
Okay.
It was more like a morning stroll.
Okay. So you come back to the inn, and you see the rest of your party, Sibo. They are eating toast and eggs. and talking about what they want to do for the day.
So, what should we do today?
I personally feel a level up coming on, and I'd like to stretch my limbs a bit. So I might just dip for a bit, unless you guys have something you want to do.
I want to learn.
If Silverin wants to, he could level up and get some training at the local training facility, and he could always reunite with the party in the evenings. So Soren's kind of explained to the group that he thinks he wants to get some training. What's everybody else talking about?
I would like to fix my armor and weapons that were acidified. Because, we always run into Hamilton in the worst of times, again and again.
Why didn't you bring that up earlier? / I was not here as a player last session. I have the mending cantrip that might be able to help a bit. Might not need to spend too much money on it.
Oh, if you can help, that would be great.
That will cost you a high five.
Sibo gives 2 high fives.
Ooh, I see you're a man of exquisite riches. If you can afford 2 of them, and then I will start casting mending on his weapons and armor.
The raw rules say that mending cannot mend corrosion of metal. That's
probably something I always read over.
Yeah, it's in the raw rules that it can't, because it's a chemical process that causes the object to lose and to crumble into flecks, and the flecks of rust cannot be easily repaired. So that's with the raw rules. So what I would say is that any loose straps of leather, Soren would be able to mend. Like any, if you had any blood or tears on your boots or something like that, he can fix with the mending. But you would need to take your metal to a metalsmith or a weapon person, an armorer, to repair.
Yeah, because I think last time it was same thing too. I think I was wondering, somebody said, oh, we can fix it by melding or something, and didn't really happen that way. We just high-fived. That's nice.
I do owe you 1 mending cantrip somewhere now.
Also, it's Blake as talking to the group. So I would like to revote on our group names since Red is here. And we don't have to do it now. I just was wondering if that is something that can be done, or is it just me who didn't really like the name Independent Strategy?
I personally kind of like it. If you want to revote, we could probably do that out of game on Discord.
Yeah, we could do that out of game on Discord. I would agree with that.
Or we could do it where people type a message of the name they like, and then if someone likes it, they can react to it. So then you can just see a list of how many reactions are on each thing.
Okay, yeah, that sounds fair.
Well, if you're going to be spending, Melody turns to Silrin, if you're going to be spending all this time training and whatnot, maybe I could be learning cat. Is that what it's called? Cat?
Feline?
Feline. I will be learning feline. So I'll go explore the library and the portocks and the cats, I suppose, and try and find someone who can teach me feline.
I actually am intrigued by that, and I've always wanted to learn Dwarvish. Maybe I can tag along. After putting, my armor to get fixed, then we can head out together. How's that sound, Melody?
Sure.
Okay, so while I have a deep disdain for cats and all the atrocities they commit to rats every day, yeah, I'll go with you to learn cat. I think it could be a useful asset. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about converting all the cats from eating rats.
Go to religion.
Yes, convert their religion. They're all Christians now. No, yeah. That's it.
Who will be your poop cat? These are important questions you need to think about.
That's true. I do need to think about that.
It's at this moment that Emir has reached the center of town to see the People's Square. The People's Square is one of the two main places in Zadash where people congregate. In the People's Square, Emir sees a large clock tower painted blue with a clock feature that shows a sun in the daytime and what looks to be a moon at night. Spread out are dozens of tables that look like fresh food markets, including tables selling fish, fruits and vegetables. You also see tables selling dairy, bread, and honey, as well as sausages and meat. You also see what looks to be a small group of grocers congregating with one another, having conversations about what looks to be the day's take, prices, things like this. Emir, you also see a town crier who has a goatee and his hair tied back in a long queue, and actually dozens of townsfolk buying purchases at these tables and also walking in and out of the square. Yeah, Emir, based on the description that Juan, the fighter in the tavern, told you, you know that Malo Misto Tavern is somewhere to the east, and the Mighty Quill Tavern is somewhere to the southwest. And
I guess it's sort of northeast-ish, sort of towards what was? I'm trying to remember the name. The Quill. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the names of the places.
Yeah. So there's Malo Misto, which is a tavern that you know is somewhere east, towards the docks, and Mighty Quill, which is somewhere in the University Village district, which is in the southwest.
Sorry, then I guess I'm heading southwest.
Okay. Let me turn to the rest of the party. So is everybody ready to leave the tavern? Everyone has a plan?
Yep, I'm ready.
And so Silrin is going to get training first?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'll take 5 days, so it'll probably be while I'm doing that other shit's happening.
Yeah, we can do that. And yeah, like I said, you can meet up with the party at night. They can send messages to you and whatnot.
Yeah.
So we'll take care of your training. And Bat, Melody, and Sibo are going to search for cats, and Sibo wants to repair his armor. Is that right?
Yeah. We could, I don't know if you want us to come with you, Sibo, but we could, for example, Bat and I head over to check out the cats at the other tavern, and then we meet up at the library when we're both done.
So meet at the university library?
Yeah, the one right across from our tavern, our inn.
Okay. Yep, I think that'll work.
Okay, so tell me what you'd like to do.
I go for training.
So Soren heads off to go training.
Peace.
I go to the Malomisto Tavern to go find cats.
Okay, and Bat is going with?
I'll follow along with.
Okay, and Sibo?
I asked the, is it the bartender or the pub owner?
The bartender is the pub owner. Garmo? Yeah. Garmo the halfling?
Okay. Yeah, so I asked the person where I can fix the armor. What's the name of the armory here?
He says to you, Ranger, do you have eyes?
No?
Sorry, I'm half awake.
Maybe you need another beer. But right across the street, next to the library, is the Bloody Cleaver. It's the armory in this district. Maybe you should check it out. You can't miss it.
Good. Well, maybe I'll grab that beer when I come back, or we'll see.
Yeah. Make it 2.
Okay. And he chuckles and heads off.
All right, so Sibo, you are outside. Bat and Melody have gone off towards where they think Malomisto is in the east. And right across the street, you see 3 shops next to each other. The Tiger's Bones, which is the magic shop. Arms and Feet, which is the shop that sells prosthetic arms and legs and things like this. And you see the Bloody Cleaver, which seems to be run by a very tall but friendly-looking female giant.
Good morning.
She looks way down at you and says, "Yeah, good morning. This is welcome to the Bloody Cleaver.
Thank you.
I hope that name doesn't scare you, but the traffic is up once we changed our name from the Slightly Wet Cleaver. What can I help you with today?"
I have rusted things. I was wondering if you can restore them back into the condition.
Tell me all the things you need restored.
So, Matt, what are the things that rusted?
You have to remember these things.
Well, yeah, I know it's armor, and is both of my sword or just one of them?
Let me see. I did take notes, actually. Everyone should take notes as well. Let me see.
Because if I remember correctly, I think you mentioned short sword being rusted,
No.
but nothing about...
Only in this battle, only your armor was hit by gray ooze.
Okay. So, yeah. How much would it cost
8.
to...
8 gold.
8 gold?
Yep, we can get it done by tomorrow morning.
Can I do a persuasion check for bargaining?
How will you persuade?
Can I offer, some of morning berries and maybe, I don't know.
Can you role play how you're going to do this?
Sure. So do you want me to roll first or role play first?
It doesn't matter what order, but as long as you role play it and make the roll and tell us the result, I'll tell you the result.
Okay. So, Sibo is going to, he's gonna say, hold on a sec, and then he's gonna turn around, and then, make like with his little bit of like string that he had it in his pocket, he's gonna like make like a berry, necklace, like a tiny berry necklace, and then can I get a little discount if I give you this little offering?
Yeah, and what did you get on your roll?
I got 19.
She looks down at you and says, "Oh my goodness. Are you a student?
I can be.
Are you studying at the university?"
Not at the moment.
Because I sometimes do give student discounts, Students have it hard these days with all the stress of reading books and things like that. I'm really sorry, but that's beautiful, but it's not going to fit my big neck. So I'm afraid 8 gold pieces is what the offer is. You could try your luck with the Dirty Sailors by Malamisto and see if they'll take care of it, but I think you would prefer a trustworthy armor smith.
So Sibo says, okay, I guess we have a deal.
So you give her the 8 gold and your armor. And meanwhile, the rest of the main party has actually walked directly towards the center square, the People's Square, and they find their friend, Emir, who's just sort of standing there looking at all the grocery shopping that's going on this morning. So Bat and Melody have run into Emir.
Well, it's good to see y'all around. What are you guys doing around here?
Melody wants to learn cat, so we're trying to find cats.
Meow.
Okay. Cool. I'm very lost.
Fair reaction. You have been gone for a bit.
So, I don't know, I was at a pretty, I guess, reputable establishment. These guys seem pretty snobby, but they might also know some stuff, so I didn't really feel like talking with them, but maybe we might be able to glean some information from them. I don't know.
Maybe.
That's fair. Would they maybe know something about cats?
Potentially, yeah. There was a pretty wide cast of characters, but I don't know about Cat specifically.
Pretty wacky bunch of characters that someone must put a lot of time into if this was a fictional world, which it's not, because we're real people.
Exactly. Should we go to the place that Ymir was at and see if anyone else knows? If anyone there knows anything.
I feel like snobby people won't take well to asking who can speak cat.
I mean, we haven't tried.
Could
Do
be
I
a challenge.
want to try and be insulted or kicked out? I don't know.
I mean, I guess we could just continue on what we were going to do and just see if we find any cats or anyone who speaks cat. But that's, if you don't want to go there, it's fine. We can just keep doing what we're doing.
Well, either way, it's probably only best to do one thing, because then we gotta head back and meet Sibo at the library. I tempted to just keep going where we were going.
Okay.
Sure, that works for me. I don't know, kind of observe and see what's going on around, see if I can find something interesting to do while we're there.
Alright.
So, Malo Misto?
Malo Misto we go.
All right, so the party of three makes their way to the southeast ward of town, where the poor docks are. And as Riolo, the orphan, told you yesterday, this part of town is known as Lamb Town, due to the history of shepherds taking residence here on their way south or on their way north. And being Zadash is such a big city, it's a fairly, what it has been a fairly decent place to stay. As you kind of cross into the town, you can see, you can hear beyond the city walls, the water in the port docks, and judging from the echoes of the different sort of watercraft that are floating in the ocean, you can tell that they're mostly small watercraft with the small number of crew. In the area, you see numerous wooden shacks that look quite battered by seagull, squirt, and hail. But this seems to be a loud and lively area of town. It's one of the most multicultural areas you've seen. You see races that are among the most diverse that you've ever seen in your travels. You see a few dragonborn sort of walking around, a few goblins, a water genasi or two, even a furball amongst the motley crowd in this neighborhood. From here, you can also see the bridge that crosses the water that goes into the Florian Zadash suburb. As you near the central area of this neighborhood, you pass by a number of children who are playing with manacles, who are balancing on buckets and doing things for coin. They look very dirty, and they're begging for money. They're contorting their bodies and shouting at you to begging for coppers. There are two main buildings in this part of town. One is a 2-story wooden building that's peeling with fraying slats and creakiness coming from indoors footsteps. You can tell from all the children running around inside, this must be the orphanage, the Shepherd's Respite Orphanage. A couple doors down from the orphanage, surrounded by a couple of winding avenues and half-timbered homes, and the scent of burning wood, is Malo Misto. It's a 2-story inn and tavern with half-timbered walls, and what you see outside are a number of wooden benches with slightly inebriated patrons, even at this early morning hour. So what does the party want to do?
Can Melody make a perception check for cats?
Yeah, you don't have to make a perception check. You see cats kind of everywhere outside of Malo Misto. There, you see white cats, black cats, tabby cats, cats with striped tails. Twitch actually has popped her head out, and she looks like really excited to play with some new playmates. Simultaneously, you also notice that Wasabi is trembling and very scared about where the party might be heading toward.
I'm gonna give Wasabi a little pet, so to calm him down.
Melody is going to offer that Bat and Wasabi don't have to. Well, she's just gonna turn and say, "Hey, it looks like Wasabi's not taking this very well. It isn't the best idea to bring a rat to a cat party. So, what if you'd like, you can come. But speak with animals does also only work on one person. So you would just be standing in a horde of cats with a rat. If you want to stay here, that would be understandable."
No, I'll come along.
All right.
I
And
should
she
be
will-
fine.
Yeah. Thank you for your support. And she draws out her Foklik and Bandor, and as she approaches Malamisto, she casts Speak with Animals on herself.
Okay. And this, you feel a delightful tingle through your bones as you now have this ability to speak with animals for the next 10 minutes.
Okay. Man, it must be crazy. And she's gonna call out, "Hello, felines. I see there are many of you here," and she will look down to Twitch and say, "All right, you can go play, but when I whistle, I need you to come back to me, okay? And I will feed you as much jerky as you can eat."
Twitch looks at you and says, "Of course, my human. Definitely.
All right.
I'll come back when I hear your call."
She scratches Twitch under the chin and puts her down on the ground so she can go run off and play and do whatnot.
And are you walking towards Twitch, or where are you going?
I'm gonna just keep going towards Malamisto and the huge horde and whatever cats are there, and then ask, just say, I am a mere human, but I have befriended Twitch, and if she can still see Twitch, point to Twitch. And I'd like to be able to communicate with her. Would any of you know how to teach me feline so I don't need a spell to speak with you?
As you say this, you notice that the cats are actually speaking to Twitch first, and they seem to be sort of thuggish sounding cats. One of the cats, who is gray with a striped tail, says, look at this bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kitten who knows nothing about the world. Let's get her. And starts a cat fight with Twitch. The cats are kind of ignoring you, Melody.
All right. Can I make a dex check when I hear them start to talk like that to grab Twitch from amongst them before they?
You don't have to make a check. You see this happening, and you grab Twitch, which seems to enrage the cats, and who then hiss at you and go about to exploring the muck next to the tavern, which seems to be fish bones, broken bottles of cider and beer, and things like this.
Does anyone seem to care about my presence in the slightest? Any of the cats?
The cats are kind of ignoring you.
All of them? Okay. So there's no one who seems like they might be friendly to a human.
Not these cats, it looks like.
Alright, well, she's gonna look down and say, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you in a bad situation. Come, let's go." And she will keep on moving. Well, she will actually go back to those kids who were performing the acrobatics. And, well, she'll turn to Bat actually first and ask, "Is it okay if we head over back to those kids?" Because I don't know if you heard what just happened, but they were gonna take down Twitch. And so I'm happy to leave. They don't seem particularly happy with me.
I think trying something other than these cats would probably be favorable, since these ones are kind of dickheads.
I agree.
Does the Emir have any opinion on this conversation?
I say, trying to talk to cats doesn't necessarily seem like it might. I don't know. It seems like we probably should talk to people about learning cat instead of trying to talk to cats for learning cat.
Do you think the people in your tavern would know better than the kids on the docks?
Potentially. Probably, but I don't know.
As you're engaged in this conversation, you see a short, green-skinned female goblin stagger outside of the front door of Malamisto. She's bald. She has long, pointy ears and prominent pink lips. She's kind of like using her hand to sustain herself because at any moment she could fall over. She slowly makes her way into the alley where all the cats are next to the tavern, and undoes her pants, and she starts peeing in the street. And when this happens, the majority of the cats start running into the tavern, and the rest of them scatter into the rest of the neighborhood.
Well,
Okay.
Kind of gives you an idea of what kind of pub this is.
let's head over towards the kids who might know something. And then that would probably be on our way back as well.
I'm just gonna ignore that happened.
Yeah. And are you good with that, Amir?
Yeah, just kind of glaring at the person that, peed out in the middle there.
So Melody leads her two party mates over a couple doors down to the Shepherd's Rest Orphanage. And you can see there's a couple of children playing outside. They look a little dirty, soiled. Their clothes are not the best. Some of them are very loose on the children. Some of the clothing has patches or holes, but they seem happy. They seem to be getting along with one another. The front door is actually wide open, and inside you can hear some adults talking to the children about chores for the day.
All right. She's gonna. Does she see these acrobatic children that were mentioned?
Yep.
Can she walk over to them and prestidigitate them clean to get their attention? She'll like wave her hands really fancily and like make it look like she's whatnot.
Well, it works. Not only do you get their attention, but they seem to be delighted at having clean clothes, clean skin, and ungreasy hair. And they kind of look at you almost lovingly, saying, "Are you gonna work here at the orphanage? That was great." And the kids are all kind of congregating around you now.
Thank you, but I just have a question. Where do any of you all know how I could learn to speak cat?
I don't know. Maybe talk to cats or go to the library and study. We have a big library in this town. I have no idea who speaks to cats. Maybe talk to a druid.
Are there any nearby?
Any druids?
Yeah.
Maybe you could ask our father, the caretaker in the Shepherd's Respite, Rangarim. He knows lots of people. You could talk to him.
All right.
But I think the most, if you want to just learn a new language, you can study at the library.
That sounds fair. Well, thank you. And since there's a group of kids around me, and they're all dirty, I assume, except for the ones I've cleaned, I will just go around and prestidigitate them all. And then bid farewell. And are you all, look questioningly at the rest of our party? Do you all want to go?
Sure, I'll go.
Sure, it'll be interesting to go to a place with a bunch of books.
Yeah! And off we go to the library. I've now befriended all the orphans.
So it's at this point that Sibo has actually finished all his transactions at the armorer. Sibo, are you doing any other transactions nearby?
I get out of the armory, and what other shops do I see?
There's the magic shop. There's the prosthetics shop.
Let's check out magic shop.
So the sign outside looks to be a tiger's head and two long bones kind of in the shape of an X. And you walk inside, and inside you see all kinds of small talismans with shrunken heads. You see potions and books lining the walls. Looks to be like a pretty typical magic shop. And inside you see female cleric, and she notices you. You're the only customer that day. And she said, "Hey, well met. Well, welcome to the Tiger's Bones. How can I help you?"
I just came to browse and see what you guys have.
Well, what are you looking for?
I don't know. Is there any recommendation you can make for a ranger?
A sturdier bow, faster arrows,
What are the options for sturdy bow?
I can give you we have a magical bow that has a slightly deadlier aim and slightly deadlier damage. In game terms, it's a +1 longbow.
So it adds +1 to the damage?
Damage and attack rolls.
Oh, okay. And how much would that be?
How much are you willing to pay? She grins at you. The woman looks to be a human cleric with dark hair.
10 gold?
She laughs and says, "Son, you're wasting my time. If you're not prepared to pay premium money for premium weapons, you can get on at it my shop. This is the tiger's bones, not malo misto."
Well, okay. I guess didn't know it was so bougie here. Well, I guess thanks for the hospitality. Just came by.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye. And she waves you off. It's at this point that Melody, Bat, and Emir have come back to this district to go to the library. Is that right?
Yep.
And you see Sibo kind of standing outside looking very disappointed.
What happened? Did you get your armor fixed?
Yeah, that's taken care of, but the shop here, the magic shop, the owner is very bougie. Had no mercy on poor people.
You do have a lot of stuff, so maybe if you sold some of the stuff that you've got, you would both be unencumbered and you could buy other stuff.
Well, yeah, I wasn't gonna sell things at the magic shop. So, yeah. And I was also wondering if I can share some items to people who don't have some items.
I mean, we can talk about that when we all get back together, but yeah, we could. That'd be okay.
And Sibo sees Emir, and he looks up and like, "Oh, the tall guy's back! Yay!"
So glad I bumped into the rest of you guys.
Yeah, we all missed you, tall guy.
We did miss you. Are you ready to go into the library?
Yeah, let's head there.
Library looks to be a beautiful building. It has a number of columns, a plinth with a frieze. Inside the frieze are carved figures that look to be like they're scholars of some kind. They're reading books. One of the figures carries a quill. And there are two large double doors on the way in. And the party walks inside. And I'd like all of you to make an intelligence check, please. Those of you walking inside the library.
Dirty 20.
I rolled an 11.
11? Okay.
7.
7?
16.
16. So everybody except that, the librarian says, that'll be 1 copper to enter, please. You, man with the cloak and the mask, come back here in an hour. I'm not sure you are ready to be astounded by the books in this building.
Melody turns to the librarian and does a small bow and says, "Well, thank you, but I need his wisdom as well, because you see, we're both studying to learn to speak new languages, and we're going to need each other."
Can you make a persuasion check, please?
Yes. 15.
She looks at the man in the mask and says, "And how can you help your friend exactly?"
I'll find books that could help on the subject that we're researching. Also, I am literate, so reading not hard. I can do that.
You notice, by the way, this woman, the librarian, she's an older elf with pale green skin, long dark blue hair, and long bony fingers. She's wearing red and brown mage's robes, and she has a nose ring that connects all the way to another ring in her earlobe. And Bat, as you offer your explanation, she actually starts to sneeze. And she's sort of like, I think I'm allergic to something. One of you hasn't been around cats or dandelions lately, have you?
Nope.
Can you make a deception check, please?
Nope, not at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
That is That's a 20. Non-natural.
All right, man in the mask. You seem pretty reasonable. Anybody else been around cats today? Whew. Oh my goodness.
Well, we don't want to bother you any longer. And she hands her the copper piece and asks, where are the language books?
She points to the corner and says, good luck finding a book. It's probably easier than it is for me to find a man. And she kind of chuckles and goes back to her business.
We didn't really need to know that.
She somehow wanted to tell you that.
Okay.
So we head back to the corner.
Hmm?
And can I find any books on cats?
So, in the corner of this library, you see a number of bookshelves dedicated to language and educational development. You're specifically looking for cats? Go ahead and make a perception check. Or investigation check, actually. Anybody else who wants to help, you can also make an investigation check.
13.
Okay. Anybody
I'll
else?
help out. I'm gonna
Okay.
help out 1 second.
I would help, but I rolled a natural one with a -1 to my investigation, so no.
Oh no.
Does Emir know how to read?
I'm not really certain. That was something I was gonna have to talk with you guys.
Yeah. I mean, if he can't, you can just roleplay it. He's like looking at picture books or something.
That's an 11 for me, Chief.
11? All right, Sibo, are you helping looking for books?
I got 19.
19. The most interesting books Sibo can find have names like, can you raise a child without spanking? Of course not. And how to stop wetting the bed, a primer for adults. But nothing specifically about cat languages. You do, however, all of you notice a very odd bookcase that has a bookend, a single bookend that looks like a fist holding a lollipop, and a number of books that are not standing upright. Instead, they are just sort of scattered on the bookshelf. It seems to be a little odd for this section.
What do those books say? What are their titles?
So Melody walks over to the books, and I'm going to post this on D20, actually. Give me a moment. And Melody and the party notice 8 books, each with a different symbol printed on the front of the cover of the books. They are just haphazardly laying on this shelf.
Like, ask me, like, so, like, do these, like, hold the books, be like, so, like, these have, how do these work? Just, I don't know, I feel like Emir can, like, speak languages, because, like, he has common and Jotun, or giant, but that's probably it. And I feel like it's speaking, like, he can speak it, but he can't read or write.
But pictures, maybe he can identify.
Well, I see castle, caterpillar, candle, and chicken as going together. Maybe also citrus and no idea what that other thing, the yo-yo looking thing would be. There's also yo-yo, yarn.
Sipo notices the yarn and think, that looks like what felines might want to do or enjoy.
True. So she'll pull out the yarn book.
Interestingly, there's nothing written inside this book.
Shoot. Can she pile up the books with the caterpillar, castle, chicken, and candle, and then in a pile next to it, pile up the yo-yo and the yarn, and then just have the 2 last books on the end? what if we went by alphabetical order? And we did candle, upright, by the fist, followed by castle, followed by caterpillar, followed by chicken. I don't know if that's a flower or a plant.
It looks like a pine, those like pine, like thistle kind. I don't know.
Yeah, Sibo, can you make a nature check, please? And Emir also, to see if you can identify this symbol or picture.
20.
I rolled a big old 0 again, a natural 1 with a -1, so.
Emir looks at the symbol and thinks, I don't think it's a plant. I think it's a fish. But Sibo has a different opinion.
Oh, I recognize this now. It's a yaw leaf.
Ah, is that spelled?
It's from the yaw tree.
Is that Y-E-W?
Yes. Is it you, or how do you pronounce it? Am I butchering it? I don't know.
I think it's yew.
Yew
But
tree?
It's not a common plant that I've ever really seen.
Hmm.
So that makes it.
And can I make an investigation check? So the one that Melody said, it looks like citrus lemon.
You can make a nature check on that, yeah.
Okay.
You're trying to identify what natural object this is. Emir, you can do the same if you want. Bat, you can do the same if you want.
Could I
And
try?
that's
Yeah.
18.
Oh, okay.
I got a 13 that time.
Yay.
That's a 19 for the lemon thingy. She
Okay.
did live out on the farm like 2 hours from a town for most of her life, so she's not.
Guess I know lemons better than anything else when it comes to agriculture.
Uh-huh. And Bat, what did you get?
Sorry, what's the bonus to this one again?
Nature. I'm not sure.
Nature.
Might be wisdom.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Intelligence.
Yeah, okay,
Intelligence?
never
Okay.
mind. It doesn't matter. I rolled a 2.
Yeah.
That'd be a 4.
Bat also
but
thinks
doesn't
this object is not a plant, but a fish. He's wondering why there's so many books about fish in this section.
I have a sneaking suspicion, guys. I think this is a sweet potato.
And what? And Sibo looks at it and nods. Yep, that does look like a sweet potato.
So, do you all want to do this alphabetically, or should we pile them by letter? Because there are lots of Y's and lots of C's, and then the sweet potato.
Or can it be something like, do we have to categorize it in a category? Like, I see like a nature, like caterpillar will be on the tree, so it can go with the yew wood or like yaw wood or whatever that thing is. And then and yarn and yo-yo seems like something to play with, so it can go there together. Sweet potato and chicken seems like go together because I don't know, they might peck it. I don't know, they might try to eat it.
Okay, I got 2 questions real quick.
Yeah.
One. Actually, no, this one isn't a question. The second one's a question. This one's just a, maybe we should cast, detect magic on this, just to check if it's magic, or if it's just some kind of puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And second.
Don't have to take magic.
Okay, never mind then. Second.
Good idea.
Does how am I trying to phrase this? Okay, we don't know what this is, so like, should we waste our time with it? Because it could just be like, grass is pretty cool. It's a book that says grass is pretty cool over and over again. Like, we don't really know what this is.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know, should it really matter to us?
Yeah, but so Sibo asked question to Bat. So I do understand how you feel about this, and I feel a little silly doing it as well. But when we opened the book, it was empty. So having an empty book in a knowledgeable library seems like a very odd thing.
I mean, it could just be like a notebook, though. And we're just, like, wasting our time messing around with a notebook.
Sibo feels like we're getting a crack on things, and this will end maybe soon, hopefully. So can we do a few more tries and we can maybe leave? We cannot figure anything out.
I mean, yeah, you guys can keep trying. I was just asking if we really need to.
As they chat, can Melody start to rearrange the books and set them up so that it goes candle, castle, caterpillar, chicken, sweet potato, yarn, yo-yo?
Which books are you putting on the left of the bookend, and which books are you putting on the right of the bookend? Or does it
None.
matter?
I'm putting them all on the right of the bookend.
Give me an insight check, please.
17.
Yeah, Melody, you're definitely onto something. These books represent a code and should be organized in some fashion around the bookend. But what effect it has, you can't tell.
And so organizing them alphabetically on one side does not change anything.
Can Sibo try?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
So I am going to put them into like 4 categories and then start that category. So
And what are they?
So yo-yo and yarn together, and that's the very end.
Mhm.
And then sweet potato and chicken together, and it's to the left of that.
Okay.
And then castle and candle together, and that's to the left of that.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I put caterpillar with the tree symbol at the very last.
Okay. Can you make an insight check, please?
Yes. That's 16. Can you describe again how the bookend is like arranged?
It's a single bookend. So there's not 2 bookends. It's just a single bookend that's a fist carrying a lollipop.
Oh, it's
Made out of
carrying a lollipop.
Correct. Your insight tells you, Sibo, that Melody has the right sense of how to organize the books, but you're also missing a clue that has to do with the bookend.
Can I do investigation check on bookend?
Looking for any traps or anything? Go ahead.
Like something triggers something, or like
go ahead and
like
make a roll.
button.
Go ahead and
Yeah.
make a roll. I'm asking Bat, Emir, and Melody if you're doing anything different.
Could I also try to make the same sort of investigation roll? So
Yeah,
just each of
because
the
you can help
mechanisms?
Sibo, or you can make your own roll. Yep.
All right. Yeah, I'll make my own.
Okay. And Bat? Melody?
I'll make an investigation.
Okay.
Melody has an idea. She's going to pull out the book that doesn't fit sweet potato
Mm-hmm.
and move the 4 C books to the left of the bookend so that there's the 4 C books in alphabetical order, the bookend,
Mm-hmm.
and then the 3 Y books in alphabetical order.
Okay. And what did everybody get for their investigation checks?
I got 18.
That was a 20 for me.
I rolled a 6.
So Melody is definitely on the right track, and Sibo and Bat can detect that. They also are both thinking, what would be another word to describe what the bookend is symbolizing?
So what are the bookends again? It's a fist holding a lollipop, and what else?
And that's it. It's made out of wood.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Maybe it would help you
Yeah.
sound it out or talk it out.
I don't know. There's like a castle, which I feel like could be a pretty sort of like upper sort of echelon sort of people thing. Then you have agriculture, which is pretty low, I guess, on the totem pole. And I guess someone who'd have access to something. I don't know. I'm looking a little too hard into things.
Well, there's a lollipop. Let's see, there's the C's and there's the Y's. What about candy?
Yeah, candy could work.
So that if we put the sweet potato book back in before, but it was candle, and then bookend, candy, and then castle, caterpillar, chicken, sweet potato, yarn, yo-yo.
Try it out.
What's another word to describe the bookend?
Spine.
The end of a
Or are
book.
you talking about like the covers?
I feel like there's more to this bookend than just the candy. And I think
Oh,
right
book stopper? Or stopper? I don't.
How is the hand holding the lollipop?
Like a fist. Like
Okay.
straight
So, okay, this might be a stretch because this is a lot of just random bits of information put together. But okay, so fist, and it doesn't really have an answer. This isn't really an answer. This is just like a random theory.
Okay, yeah.
But so the fist holding up the lollipop could be a sign of childhood, as already noted. But the way it's just curled up into a fist and holding the lollipop upward could also symbolize like a scepter, which would go together with the castle, which could mean someone was a child raised into like royalty or something.
I
That
feel
it's kind of a stretch, but I don't know.
Hey guys, I think I have an idea. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
What if that sweet potato is actually yam?
Oh, that would
It's
make
a cousin. It's a sweet potato's cousin.
Yo, what if it's just a messy bookshelf and that's fucking with
Yo,
me?
what if?
That'd be
what if?
hilarious.
Wait,
Would a DM do that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Just to be asshole, maybe.
Known some people.
that
I could imagine myself doing that.
that makes total sense because then there's a C book for every Y book, so it's split exactly in half. So we could put all the C's on one side and all the Y's on the other side, and if they were alphabetically ordered, then that could maybe work.
Okay, try it out.
All right, so that would make it. That would be candle, castle, caterpillar, chicken, bookend, yam, yarn, yo-yo. I think. Wait, no. Yes, yam, yarn, yo-yo. That would be in alphabetical order, one on either side.
Melody arranges the books in that exact order, and all of you notice a small staircase emerge from the floor behind this bookcase that goes downstairs. I'd like to give each of you 75 points for solving this puzzle. I'm granting Melody an additional 50 points for solving it. You seem to have found a secret passage to an underground room in the library. And the party also notices the allergic librarian is starting to walk toward the group.
Do we need to distract her?
I think we should just pretend we're just like talking in group and just cover up what we just discovered.
I can take her to go help me find cookbooks or something. So,
No, hang on a second. So Sibo got an idea and then he's going to whisper to Bat's ears.
Okay.
Okay, what's your
Bad.
idea?
Bat, can you make Wasabi go right across her legs so she frightens and then gets distracted? Is that possible?
Yeah, sure, that's possible. I'm going to try to I'm gonna pull out Wasabi from like my shoulder or my cloak, wherever he is right now, from the pocket dimension in my cloak. I'm gonna like do a hand motion of like walking or of like running, I guess. And I'm gonna like put him on the floor pointing towards the librarian lady.
Mm-hmm. And with that, he sort of contorts his body into the shape of a greyhound and zips directly toward the lady. The lady sees the rat and she shrieks and she runs back toward her post.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna call Wasabi back.
And Sibo is very proud of Wasabi and he's gonna give Wasabi a berry that he found in the morning
Okay, that's a big
as a
thing
treat.
for a rat. Okay. Wasabi seems delighted by this berry, He seems a little out of breath as well. That was a lot of energy for this little rat.
And it reminds Melody that she forgot to treat Twitch. So she's going to pull out a little bit of something from her pack, and she'll say, because I had to take you out of the situation, but because I also put you in there, here's a little bit something. So
Twitch seems delighted by this.
can we go down without being noticed? Like, is her post...
You could all do a stealth. Yeah, you could all try to do it stealthily.
Okay, I'm gonna try to roll stealth.
I mean, I'm willing to try, but yeah, might as well. I'm not gonna get a disadvantage.
Yeah. Go ahead and try.
That's a 19 for me.
19, okay.
I got
Melody?
16.
16. Mm-hmm.
Can Melody try and like give him pointers to help him so he can not roll with disadvantage? Be like, okay, so because your armor clanks here, you have to make sure that you keep your arms close to your sides.
Yeah.
Doesn't
So
move.
that's like the help action. You can help.
I rolled a 13 anyway. Shoot,
No, 13's actually good enough. And Melody, what did you get?
Well, that's an 8.
You don't seem to catch the attention of the librarian, but the party starts making their way down the stairs. Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Yes.
As the party makes their way down the stairs, they walk down 2 more staircases into an area that looks like it has a number of tables and jars for chemicals that are used to preserve books. There are also 2 sets of large wall-side panels on the eastern wall of this rectangular room.
On that wall, do we see anything right off the bat?
You can make a perception check.
I got 19 for perception.
Sibo, you can detect behind the panels, you can hear 3 distinct sounds. You can hear some voices snickering, some knives sharpening, and something is sizzling over an open fire. You can smell cedar wood or ash or some sort of deciduous tree that's used for cooking. It doesn't smell like typical animal meat, though. It smells strange.
God, so Sibo's gonna whisper, I detect something very strange going on, and then he's gonna share what he thinks is happening behind that panel.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we go? Do you think it's a good idea to investigate more into this? Or what everybody...
We kind of already opened this all up, so, I mean, while we're here, we should investigate.
Melody, any opinions? Emir?
I'm down for investigating stuff. I mean, we're here already, but
Okay.
let's not open the knives sharpening bit for a while.
It feels like a battle coming, and I have no armor, so I'm a little concerned about it. That's the only downside of this.
You could also come get me after my training for the day is done.
So that's what I was trying to say. So I wasn't sure if we want to do this as a whole group, united, or we want to do it at this moment.
We could. It looks like there's another room over there, so a couple of us could head over to the other room and then leave like 2 of us to go investigate the panels here. And if there are screams, we come. But should we maybe grab some reinforcements, like Silrin? We could claim it's a part of his training and he's going to go test out what he's been learning. Bring him along.
I mean, I definitely think this can lead to something little dangerous, so I think the party united will be a better idea.
Shall we go get Silrin then?
As the party is having a conversation, you hear what sounds to be a man sobbing loudly. Just let me go.
And where's that sound coming from? Behind the panel?
Behind the rear 2 panels. So where the party is right now, where you're like, that's the front green panels, but there is another set of panels behind that, and that's where you're hearing the man's voice.
Sobbing, okay. And question to you, Matt. So where is Soren training, and how long would it take for one of us to go get Soren?
Maybe to get Soren and then bring him back would probably take about 40 minutes or so. He's training in the northwest part of town, near the Black Arms Tavern. So he kind of knows where. He hasn't run into Emir yet, I don't think, but he knows where Emir stayed the prior night because it's by the Black Arms. Is where the training facility is.
Okay. So, any ideas, guys?
If we want some backup, I'm happy, to go run and grab him, or I can stay here. And if he's training by the Black Arms, then Emir would know where that is best out of all of us.
So here are two things that I'm concerned about. One is this smell that I'm smelling feels like a human flesh. I don't know why I would know that, but it feels like an abduction and sort of carnage going on. Like carnival, cannibal situation here.
And I'm just saying, as much as I would probably be able to go there quickly and get him back, if you want me to be able to, quietly do it, I don't know how easily I'd be able to do this without letting the librarian know that there's a game afoot.
And maybe she's a part of the game.
Oh.
Sounds like someone who's good with words might be good to speak with the librarian then.
So should we divide and conquer in this situation? Like somebody who can run fast should go get Soren, and somebody who's good with words would distract or get information out of the library lady, and somebody who's stealth can stay in this room and see how the scenario plays.
I'd say maybe, but also we kind of just walked into a dungeon that's under a library, and there's a hostage, so splitting up probably, I don't know if that would be the best idea when there's a potential hostage situation. And
I do feel like it's a good idea to distract the librarian. My speed isn't particularly high. My stealth is among the higher ones of the group. I think we compared stealths a while ago. I have a +5. I rolled a nat 3 last time. That's why my stealth was low. So I would be happy to go up. I feel like there should be at least 2 people down here if someone's going to stay down here. But it might almost be better for people to be above ground and to not be immediately in front of these panels. What if we know how the puzzle works, so if the door closes, it's not an issue. So maybe a group of us could go and distract the librarian and pester her with questions in rounds or something. Or we all just go above ground and look at other books, and then when Silverin gets back, then we can all go down.
I'm up for that. So because I feel like there's a hostage, and I don't know if that person may get killed in the meantime, but I feel like our group needs to be safe. And just a few people staying here, although we may know what's going on or we can speculate on that, I feel like it can maybe jeopardize our safety. So let's pretend, I like that idea. Let's pretend we are looking at books and investigate up here, and then when Soren comes, we can come down here all together.
Sounds good to me.
I can also contribute to pestering the library lady, since I actually have some questions about how to learn Dwarvish, so I can help you on that, or anybody who is going to bother her.
I can keep an eye on the secret passageway to kind of see who comes in and out from topside, kind of see if there's anything people that we should keep an eye on.
Sounds like a plan. So, Bat, what would you like to do? Wait, so we still need somebody to go grab Soren, don't we?
Oh, yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Okay, cool. And I'm happy to go up first and draw her over to other books so that you guys can come out safely.
Okay, sounds good.
So Melody is gonna stealth up the stairs and then stealth. She's gonna stealth until she's in a place that would appear normal for someone checking out books.
And then Bat is going to follow you?
Yeah.
And then where are Sibo and Emir going to be?
So when she does that, we all come out? Wasn't that the idea? Like we all come out of the place? Yeah.
Wait 5 minutes until you don't see me anymore before you come up, so that I have time to draw her away.
Yep.
All right, Melody, let's see you draw her away.
Okay. So she heads over to the librarian. She pulls out a book, flips through it, puts the book back, looks confused, and then heads over to the librarian and says, I thought I wanted to learn a language, but I'm not finding anything particularly interesting to me. Do you have a cookbook around? Do you have a section on cookbooks? I feel like that would be perhaps more to my tastes.
She says, I'm happy to help you, but I'm definitely allergic to something. I feel like there was a cat around here. I saw a rat this morning. So hopefully there's a cat around to take care of it, but I'm allergic to cats. But yes, there are cookbooks. I will gladly take you over to the cookbook section.
Thank you. Lead the way.
And she leads you to a different section away from the children and language section of the library. So at this point, Bat is leaving to get Silrin.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get Silrin. Gonna run over.
Okay. And Sibo and Emir are like watching guard.
Emir is watching around the area while I'm also gonna contribute distracting the library lady. Also actually learn about how do I learn Dwarvish.
So you're also distracting her. Okay.
Yes. And also before Bat leaves, Emir is gonna sort of describe where the camp is and all that, so Bat can know exactly where he will be, because Emir is more familiar with the area.
That seems fair to me. Yeah, kind of explain, I guess, how to get to to the inn.
Yeah, it's not hard. I mean, Zadar is a walled town, so Bat can't get even that lost. There's 4 quadrants in the center square, and Bat just needs to go to the center square and then towards the northwest part of town. Bat will be able to find the facility, no problem.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to suggest we take a 6-7 minute break, human break, player break, to rest, grab something to eat, grab some water, and we will resume. And when we resume, we will see what Silrin wants to do. Whew. Okay. Hi, everybody. So I'm just announcing that I'm granting Melody inspiration for the rest of today's session for figuring out a few aspects of the puzzle without any clues. And Silrin was told by the training facility, as long as you come back here alive, you can count whatever it is you're about to do as part of your training.
Okay. Dope. If I die, then I guess you can keep the gold or something.
Yeah, we intend to, but we really don't want you to die.
Yes.
You could be a powerful cleric one day.
Well, I'm a powerful cleric today. You don't need to be mean about it.
Not being mean about it, just aspirational. We know there is more that you can aspire to be, and we're here to help. But we can't do that if you're dead.
True. Although I imagine, training more won't be the biggest of my concerns if I'm dead.
Also true. Good luck, sir.
So, Bat, what you were talking about, like a secret tunnel through the mountains, secret tunnel or something?
Yeah, it's a secret tunnel. There's a secret tunnel at the bottom or not at the bottom. We found it by lining up some books in the library. We should probably just hurry up and go, though.
Yes.
No time to talk about it. There's a potential hostage.
Oh. All right.
Okay, I'm gonna start running back to the library.
Okay.
Yep.
While this is happening, Sibo and the librarian are deep in conversation about dwarven culture and language and mining practices. The librarian looks like she's actually deeply interested in this conversation.
And throughout the conversation, does Sibo learn anything about how to learn Dwarvish?
Yeah.
In this town?
It'll
What
take a
did
few
you find?
weeks. It'll take a few weeks, but you can learn some pretty rudimentary Dwarvish by studying at the library.
And no cost?
Yeah, I mean, you can't take the books with you, Sibo.
No, what I'm saying is like kind of like leveling or tuning. Like, isn't there like a... So there's no monetary value to learning net knowledge here. Is that what you're saying?
That's what she's saying, is you can study at the library, but it does take downtime.
Okay.
So in the raw rules, it says you need to be able to cover your expenses. Like if you're going to take notes and write scrolls or things like that, you should let me know, because you would need to like buy ink and paper and stuff like that.
Okay.
And Melody, in the meantime, she
Yeah.
found the cooking section,
Yep.
or she was shown the cooking section, and she finds pulls out like a basic survival cooking kind of thing,
Okay.
and I'd like to learn a couple of recipes for things that I can make that taste great, but come from pretty basic stuff you could forage.
You find some you find some recipes for things like salads and griddle cakes and hand-rolled snacks and things like this. It seems to be relatively easy. As long as you have access to flour and milk, you can make a lot of stuff.
This is more like out of character than anything, but I feel like I want to like have Emir like ask if like someone could teach him how to read, but I feel like he's too prideful. And he's like, no, pictures are good enough for me.
You go ahead and roleplay it. Tell us who you're talking to about this.
I don't know. Ask the librarian. Like, so is there like what are the meanings behind all? What do these mean? What like these are these symbols? Like what do they do? Because I'm assuming he doesn't quite understand how an alphabet. I don't know. His question is like, how would someone? I don't know.
Your
I haven't
question
thought about
is about the symbols on the books?
Yeah.
Do you mean the letters on the page?
Yeah, those. Yeah, I guess. What are the? Yeah,
Well,
they call
each-
those.
Each little marking, each little what we call letters makes a sound, and when you put the sounds together, they make words.
Okay, I'm gonna need to like go and reflect on this.
Yeah, Mr. Goliath.
Gonna need to do some soul searching.
You it sounds like you haven't been around so many books in your life, huh?
No.
Well,
Does Melody overhear this, or is she pouring through her book?
Melody can overhear this. Yeah, we can say that.
She's gonna raise an eyebrow, but continue reading.
She recommends to Emir, you could always stop by the toy shop in town and buy a beginner's book. There's no shame in starting late in life, learning how to read.
I guess I'll have to think about that.
Yeah.
Swallow some pride, just a smidge, you know.
Son, there's no shame, and anybody can learn as long as they put their heart and mind to it. And she sort of bows and goes back to her work, minding Melody and Sibo. It's at this point that Bat and Soren have arrived, and they see the party kind of distracting this lady, doing some soul searching about their ability to read. And what would you like to do next?
So there's like a bookshelf that like slid open to reveal a doorway or something.
I'll let the party tell you.
Well,
Yeah,
as we're going, what does Bat tell me? As we're like running to.
Yeah,
the
Bat can tell you.
So there was a puzzle type thing with some blank books with symbols on them and a bookend with a hand and a lollipop, and we just had to arrange the books and split them from words that begin with C to words that begin with
Okay, so
Y.
that's interesting. But if the puzzle's done, then is the puzzle done?
Well, we solved the puzzle, and
Okay.
there was a staircase leading to a dungeon area, and someone is crying.
The staircase was like behind the books or something.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Do we know who put the dungeon
No
there?
idea who's.
All
No.
right. Well, here's what I say, and I tap Bat on the shoulder and give him Trickster's blessing, or whatever it's called. For the next hour, you have advantage on stealth checks. Go get him.
Are you not coming with me?
Well, I mean, sure, yeah, but I'll wait at like the top of the stairs for now.
Oh, okay, fine. I'm gonna go downstairs.
Is anybody following you, Matt?
I will stay at the top of the stairs.
Okay.
Melody,
So I don't have a token on that.
if they're coming back in,
You do, but I'll put it there once you go downstairs.
Okay.
she is going to excuse herself and ask if she can borrow the book.
The cookbook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Borrow it? You mean take it out of the library?
No, I just want to take it to go study.
Yeah, you can take it to a reading room, or you can sit at any of these tables here.
I'd rather find a place a bit quieter. And
Well, look around. It's pretty quiet today. Everybody is getting excited for the turtle races, not so much the books, but I find books just as enchanting as finding a good man. And she kind of like looks into the distance.
she pats the lady on the shoulder and says, someday.
And when you pat her on the shoulder, she starts choking allergically. I'm sorry, miss. I think I'm allergic to something on you. I need to sit down.
It's all good. And she's going to sneak the book downstairs with her.
Actually, sorry. As we're heading downstairs, I will go down and I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace on everyone.
Pass what on everyone?
Pass Without a Trace, the second level spell.
Explain to everybody what that is.
Concentration for 1 hour. I can choose when I cast it, I can choose any number of creatures within 30 feet of me. You can then leave to the 30-foot range. Afterwards, it still stays as long as I'm concentrating on it. And while it's active, this part's really, really good because I don't know why this is only a second level spell. You get a plus 10 bonus to stealth checks, and you cannot be tracked except by magical means.
Plus 10 bonus to stealth checks. That's really good.
It's
For 10 minutes.
no, for an hour.
For an hour.
Concentration for 1 hour.
But you have to concentrate. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
So are we all down at the secret passage, or do we hear any sounds and smell?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check. Anybody else who wants to make a perception check with you can do the same. Sibo,
I will
also
do
you can
that.
position yourself on the map where you'd like to make this check.
Can I go over here and peek around the corner? Or what are these like gray things? Are those like I'm pinging on the map.
Oh, those are
The panels.
Yeah, those are wall-sized panels.
Okay. And
So Sibo's gonna go here, and and I did perception check, and I got 17.
Sibo, you hear what seems to be the sound of a man weeping.
Okay, so the man is still crying.
I'll also make a perception check. 24. Where is that sound coming from, and do I notice any other details in the room?
The sound is coming from the more northern set of wall panels. So there are two sets of wall panels in the room. Yeah, exactly. So where Melody and Sibo currently are, you are also noticing the man crying. And from somewhere south of the other set of wall panels, you hear the sound of knives sharpening and cutting or chopping something, but you can't tell what.
Who hears the worst at stealth? Who's the loudest?
I
Ymir,
would assume
probably.
that's
I give Ymir Trickster's Blessing. Or Blessing of the Trickster, rather.
much
Explain
appreciated.
again what that does.
That is a trickstery cleric, or a trickery domain cleric feature that I have. It's not concentration, but I can only target one creature that isn't named at a time. For the next hour, you have advantage on stealth. But, and I can refresh it by giving it to you again as an action. If I give it to someone else, then it ends on you. Or if I don't give it to you again for an hour.
Alright, well, thank you.
So does that mean Ymir has double advantage on stealth?
Did he already have advantage?
Oh no, because you gave everyone the thingy that you
No,
casted.
that's a flat plus 10, which is different from advantage.
Oh, okay.
I think, anyways.
Oh yeah, I think the book says advantage is about equal to plus 5 for reference.
Oh, okay.
I rolled for perception as well, and well, you can see how my roll came out. That was a 3. for the panels.
Yeah,
With-
Melody really cannot make out what is making that noise. She thinks it could be an animal, could be a human. Really not sure.
Who knows? Do we
Emir
want-
back.
What are the panels made of? Are they like stone?
They look like it's wood that's inlaid into the wall.
Yeah, man, you're very quiet right now. You have an axe.
Yeah, my question would be, can I disassemble these wooden things?
Yeah. So go ahead and walk up to what wall you want to try to disassemble. And
I'm gonna probably go after the crying guy's walls here. That seems like a probably
Okay.
better one to go after.
I think that's these ones. Yeah.
yeah,
I like the word disassemble in this situation. It's very delicate.
this is Emir. Are you going to disassemble the panels or smash them? I
I mean, I feel like just hit it with the axe till they fall apart. No, that might be probably the better option. I don't know.
Okay,
The
make
issue
a-
is
make a strength check.
Oh, okay. I got a 19, so 26.
Melody hides around the corner.
okay.
Sibo goes
Um,
along with her.
Okay.
I'll move up like up here.
Remember, if you want to go between the squares, then you can use Alt. Or you can hold down Alt.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
Is that just it's just the dude in a hoodie with a mask? I know this is kind of absurd, but because there's a lot of magic aiding him in this situation, can Ymir make a stealth check to quietly chop down the wall?
But chopping down a wall would eliminate the stealth. They would be able to detect it straight away.
True,
And
but
the
there
stealth
is
is
there's
only-
magic. There's magic dampening the sound.
Yeah, the magic I think is on Emir. It's not on the wood that's all falling on the floor.
But
That's gonna make a noise. Even if Emir somehow doesn't make a noise, the wood will make a noise, collapsing onto the floor.
Also, I have a question to the group. As Emir is about to do this, do we want to check the room downstairs, or do we want to chop down this wall
Well,
first?
it's at this point that Emir
I
has
thought we were
already chopped
downstairs.
open the door because you can see into the
Okay.
next room. And what Emir is the first to see what's in here. He sees a tall, dark-haired man wearing a mask around his mouth, kind of sitting on the floor, shivering, shaking, mumbling to himself. He sees a number of clerics and acolytes congregated around what looks to be a makeshift stone altar with a large rug on top and a number of bones scattered about. In the rear of the room, you see a number of beds on the floor. And on the far southern side of the room, you see a number of cultic chefs, a roaring fire with a pot on the fire, and several poles of meat that have been pierced and are sticking onto the poles. In the southern part of the room, you also see a couple of large piles of rot grubs, these horrible insects that can get under your skin. Actually,
Ew.
literally, they can burrow into your
Oh,
skin
fuck.
and eat away your brain matter and tissue. Emir, you're first to enter this room. People in this room notice you, and this woman over here rounds the corner and shouts at you and says, "Hey, you're not supposed to be here. What are you doing here?"
Ymir, draw them over here.
Hey, your wall fell down. You guys want to come up? We put this back together. I don't know. Should I try to deceive her?
Hey, your
wall
wall fell down.
Yeah,
I was trying to pick it up with my axe.
This is gonna be a really hard deception check, but Emir, you can try to make a deception check. I'll let you.
Might as well.
You're gonna need a really high number.
I rolled the natural one. In fact, I got the lowest number.
The lady shouts at you and says, "There's no way our wall just fell down. Tell us. Step inside and tell us what is it that you are doing here underneath the library? You're not here for the ceremony."
I scoot over here and I give Bat Blessing of the Trickster.
Okay.
It's at this point that Melody draws from her pack the necklace, the sign of Surik, and puts it over her head and walks out from around the corner and enters the room and says, "No, you're right, he's with me. I've come to help with the ceremony."
Melody, can you make a deception check, please?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
That's a 21.
Oh my goodness. She says, "Oh, are you from the Paranch branch or the Adamika branch?"
I'm from the Paranch branch, and I'm afraid there's some bad news about our brothers and sisters there.
"Yes, I've heard. Some weird group called the Sillies attacked our brethren."
Yes! Sorry, that was really loud. That was out of character. Silren is magically, silently giving like a fist bump in the air. Fist pump.
Did you hear it was a ragtag bunch of foolish adventurers who attacked our chefs mercilessly? They even stole their super sharp cleavers and gold.
No. How dare they?
How dare they indeed.
So are they in the room right now?
Emir is kind of like in the doorway, I imagine.
Melody walked out to like here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I whisper to Ymir.
And Melody is going to say, "Well, I'm afraid I've only recently been initiated, so would you explain to me what's going on so I can help?"
The blessing of the bones. The blessing of the bones is taking place this evening. Hi, I don't believe we've met. And she walks forward and says, "My name is Caloric Tridentium. It's a pleasure to meet a sister from the southern branch in Paranch."
Here, I meant walk further into
The pleasure is all mine. My name is N.
M. What a pleasant name. No doubt an alias for something, but I'll let it slide. And who is your oafish friend here who knocked down our wall so unceremoniously?
Well, I tried to get him to quietly come so that we wouldn't make any noise and disturb the people up there, but I suppose he just got carried away with the moment and decided that, like usual, the best solution to a problem is to hit it with an axe.
Emir, by the way, do you have a symbol of Surik on you? Did the party give you an extra one?
I don't think so.
Melody, do you have a spare?
I believe I took 3.
Okay.
So I can say, I think I said I took 3, and then I said I only took 1, so I'm not sure. I would like to know.
Yeah, I think you took 3. I have marked that you took 3.
Can I
Okay,
silently
cool.
gesture to Bat and Sibo my plan? And I won't talk over them, I'll just say it in chat.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And
Caloric says to you, Melody, your tall friend here doesn't bear the mark.
I know we just came from his own initiation ceremony. I've been more integrated into the group than he has, and so I've been tasked to bring him here. And once he completes this ritual, I am to bestow the symbol upon him.
She, as you say this, the crying man walks towards you, Melody, and says, "Are you?" He's wiping tears from his eyes, and he says, "Are you here to eat me, or are you here to rescue me?"
I am here to do whatever my sisters deem best. But I want to move her, and my computer's spazzing. Okay, down here, she's gonna move towards the altar to go greet this sister.
Okay.
Quote.
The man follows you and says, there. He whispers to you, turn back. Do not fall. Do not fall to Cyric. After they eat humans and halflings, they might start eating dogs. They are savages.
Savages? How dare you speak to my sisters that way? And she slaps him across the face.
Ooh. The female acolytes all around the room congregating are kind of laughing, saying, she is one of us.
So tell me, sisters, what do I need to do? Is the other one in the top coming over as well?
Yeah.
How dark is the room?
It's got candles lit everywhere, and there's a large fire in the corner that makes that part of the room especially visible.
So is it dim light?
It's more dim on that side of the room where you are, where the altar is, but it's much brighter where the fire and the chefs are.
Okay.
She gestures to the altar and says, it looks like you've made yourself a lovely place to dedicate what we have to the great Cyric. So, teach me, sisters, what I must do.
Come, meet the chefs, and they will teach you how to carve the very flesh from the bones of the heretics. And one of the acolytes leads you to where the chefs are, where they are carving up what looks to be like dwarven carcasses. It looks like these are cannibals.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Man, what did I do? What did I do?
All right, okay. I'm gonna take this opportunity to move in over to here, stealthing very well because I'm a super stealthy dude, and also I pass the trace. And I say to the dude, "Don't say anything at all. Don't make a sound. I'm gonna break you out."
He says he nods wordlessly.
Okay. I tap him on the shoulder, and I give Blessing of the Trickster, and I'm gonna try and pull him, not like drag him on the floor, but like pull him to gesture, let's go. Or I want to make sure that the coast clear and no one is looking our way.
You do notice that this acolyte by the altar is looking in the direction of the hostage.
Okay. Should I make a stealth check?
You can make a stealth check, and I just made a stealth check for him as well.
32.
32.
17.
That will get by
5 plus
anything.
10.
Yeah, he passed as well. So he said, he's looking at you wordlessly, just waiting for you to tell him something to do.
So does she like see us?
She's just looking in your direction is all.
Are her eyes staring right at the dude?
At the hostage, yes.
Okay, so she notices that he's still there, but I'm
Yes.
like ducking down enough and being still enough to.
And she can't see you, but she can see the hostage. You have found a way to step into the shadows without being detected by her.
Okay. I think it's too risky to go right now. I'm gonna need to wait for something else to happen.
So Melody is going to look around the room, appraising the room. What she's really doing is looking to see if any of her friends have wandered in behind her. And I assume that she would know that this is their plan, so she's gonna go for a distraction, and she's going to say, I'm afraid I have already eaten, sister, but I would love to perhaps see where me and my friend, gesturing to Ymir, could rest. I don't know to whom all of these beds belong to, but he would need a special size, as you can see.
Yeah. The woman looks at you and says, we can easily stitch up a new one. You're welcome to stay with us. This is where we stay. And as she engages you in conversation, this chef moves forward and hands you a cleaver and says, come here, sis. I'm about to show you how it's done. This is how we get the best cut of meat. It's from the ribs. The ribs, I tell you.
Thank you. And she
Melody,
accepts-
can you make a perception check, by the way?
Yes, I would love to make a perception check. Oh, that is a 16.
Melody, you notice another large set of green panels in the southern wall of the room. I'm showing you on the map where that is. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see.
And from beyond those panels, you hear the noise of what sounds to be a puppy, just kind of yelping.
Oh, well, she's going to, like, register this and inwardly, like, sniffle for the puppy, but outwardly gonna do her best to, like, mask it and not look like anything's off. So she got herself into a mess.
The acolyte standing next to you and says, sister, what brings thou in thine back? I believe it is an animal. She's gesturing with her fingers like this is gonna be lunch, whatever it is that you have in your backpack.
Oh, I'm afraid this is my hunter. She helps me find meat so that I don't have to dirty my own hands in the hunt, and I can merely sacrifice.
Another acolyte steps forward, bordering you, and says, But sister, those of us who pray to Sirik walk in battle alone. We are in no need of hunters or familiars to fight alongside us. So, please explain again the truth of what's in your pack.
You are right. I have spent too much time amongst the heretics, and the story has gotten all twisted in my mind. The real reason for me to keep this thing is to raise it so that it may satisfy Sirik, for most wild creatures that we catch and that we eat are not, I suppose, fattened to his satisfaction. So my goal is to raise it to be as fitting for sacrifice as I can.
The plumper the better.
Yes.
You have learned Sirik's teachings. Interesting.
I have.
And that acolyte that was just speaking with you retreats back to her corner. I want to turn back to the rest of the party. Emir, Back, Sibo, Thorin.
Can I take out a little piece of meat from my rations that looks like it could belong here? And can I stealthily chuck it just like over here to make a little bit of a noise to draw that person's attention for a moment?
Yes.
Okay. Do I need to roll for that?
What would you like, a dexterity check to see if you aim?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's say dexterity check.
Okay. Would this be? Yes, probably.
But I'll let you do it with advantage too, because you're also doing it in a stealthy manner.
Okay. 16.
Yeah, you throw this jerky over there towards the altar, and it lands exactly where you wanted it to.
All right. Does it draw her attention?
Not really. She's really deep in conversation with what seems to be the leader of the group, Caloric.
Oh, she's deep in conversation? Okay, that's also...
Now she is, yeah.
Okay, then I will step in front of this guy to try and block sight from him as best as I can, and then gesture for him to start going.
He gestures to you with his hand as if in the form of a fist, like he's kind of gesturing to you and mouthing out loud, "Do you have a weapon?"
I nod.
He holds out his hand with an open palm. "Allow me to arm myself."
I'll give him a dagger.
Okay. He says, "I trust thee. Are you ready to go?"
I'm probably going to stay in here, but I have 2 friends out there. So they can take care of you. All right, go.
Okay. The hostage runs outside and sees this tiefling in a cloak and this gnome with a bow. And he says, "Okay, so are you taking me out of here?" This is to Bat and Sibo.
I guess we should we take him up, or should we wait to see how this plays out?
I'm gonna ask him, how did you get captured?
terrible. They got my pet poodle, Lucy. And I'm sorry I have to wear this mask. The stink of the chemicals and all the dead bodies, it's just absolutely horrible. This cult is a bunch of savages. You're not with them, are you?
We are not.
Well, could you please rescue my poodle as well? I can't wait to go back to my village. They kidnapped me and brought me all the way here to the eastern part of the continent, and I just want to go home.
So, I have a question. So, from the looks of him, does he look like a just normal civilian, or does he look like some kind of like a class of like?
He looks like a regular civilian.
Okay. So I whisper to Bat, should we take him up?
Yeah, let's just take him out.
Or should we put him in a corner and just stay put until this is done?
Okay.
Because apparently this isn't concentration, I would like to cast Disguise Self on myself right now.
Okay.
To look like the hostage.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So that's gonna have my mask. It's gonna have his mask. It's gonna hide all my
Good.
weapons.
Good. Okay.
Did he have rope around his hands or whatever?
No, he didn't have any rope or anything. He was unbound.
Okay. Cool. Then I'll just look like him.
Okay.
Okay, let's take him up then.
All right.
Okay. So Sibo is gonna go out, make sure it's like, like nobody's watching. And then when it's clear, we let him out.
I mean, through the hole in the door, Sibo and Bat, they can't really see you very well, so they don't even know that you're there.
No, I'm talking about like in the library side of it.
Oh, yeah. Nobody notices you leave. I mean, people saw you enter, and now they're just watching you leave.
Yeah.
He says
So
to you,
just-
whatever you do, save my little Lucy. I'll be waiting at the Black Arms Tavern.
Okay.
Good luck. Godspeed.
Okay.
I'm Ian, by the way.
Hello.
Okay. Well, be safe, Ian.
Yeah. Be safe. What are your names?
My name is Sibo, and this is Bat.
I hope to see you tonight.
In the meantime, Melody is going to say, sisters, I have brought a gift, and she's going to pull out Luke's legendary mug, which Bat gave her when the kitten came out, and say, I would like to add my own flair from my homeland to your dinner tonight. Would you allow me?
Yes, we would. What do you have? And again, the other acolyte walks towards you, sir. So there are two of the female acolytes now surrounding you.
I can use it 3 times a day. And so I'd like to first think of the soup that my mother made, the tastiest, most savory broth, and have that, just imagine it filling the cup.
As you say that out loud, one of the chefs yells out, "With bits of human arms, right?"
Right!
Yeah, go ahead and roll D6, Melody.
Okay. Oh no, she's actually gonna say, this can only produce liquid, so I'm afraid you shall be disappointed. That's a 5.
And slowly but surely, the mug fills with a delicious, savory soup.
And she's gonna hold it up and say, smell, this reminds me of my home before I found this true home. And she will offer to pour it into the soup thing.
Yeah.
Pot.
The chef grabs an empty pot and has you pour the soup into the pot. He says, "I'm gonna heat this up on our fire. Thank you for this, milady."
You're welcome. And I know that it goes very well with this other soup that my father used to make. Unlike most men in town, he did like to cook. And it's quite different from my mother's, but we accidentally mixed them one day and found they go well together. Would you mind if I added his version as well?
Certainly.
and she's gonna think of poison
Okay.
and have the cup fill with poison.
Go ahead and roll a d6.
That's a
Wait,
4.
didn't we rule out poison before?
Did we?
Yeah, we did. Interestingly, Melody, nothing appears in the mug.
I must be confusing the two. And
It's not like other jugs of alchemy, this particular magic item. You now realize.
okay.
I'm not like other
But-
girls.
She's gonna imagine her mother's broth a second time, but with her own, like, I don't know. She's gonna add thyme to it this time around.
Mhm.
Because she's got to
Okay.
come up with.
Go ahead and roll a d6.
Ooh, that's a good one. Maybe she'll add something really, really spicy.
Okay.
That's a 3. 5, 4, 3.
Melody, nothing appears in your mug. The acolytes surrounding you are saying, I'm not sure you know this magic well, sister. You haven't had a bite to eat. Go join the chefs and have our delightful luncheon today. Dwarf meat and bread.
Well, perhaps the reason it's not working is, yes, as you say, I may be ignorant of the magic, but I also did just eat, and my mind could be confusing many meals.
Make another deception check, please.
That's an 11.
This other acolyte that's closest to you says, so, what do you think of the newest prayer that we've been assigned to speak about Cyric? What's your opinion of the latest prayer?
I've been traveling, so this is the first I've heard from the latest prayer.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I hope you don't trust Avandra or any of the other false goddesses.
No.
You can see how some people's minds are clouded so easily when they are not eating the flesh of the befallen. We only bleed for Cyric, and as the beating flesh feeds us and quenches his thirst as well.
Yes. It is an honor to fall in his name.
And it would be an honor if you would help us prepare dinner. And she leads you towards the southern panels in the room, where you can hear very clearly now the sounds of a dog yapping behind the door.
Okay.
She hands you a cleaver and says, "Be my guest."
So now I have 2 cleavers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No! No! Take them away from her!
And so can she open the panel?
You can't do it, but she finds some mechanism and she opens the panel over here, and you see that inside is a lonely white poodle with very furry looking.
Can I try to sneak over to there? Or not sneak over there, but like in my disguise self, just kind of look like I'm the same prisoner wandering over.
Emir, what are you doing, by the way, when this is all happening?
I guess I'm kind of just watching what's going on, kind of absorbing the chaos. I don't know.
Okay. The acolyte says to you, "M, be our guest. Kill this puppy."
She walks in and inspects the puppy. She looks very, like, questioning, and she, like, prods the dog and squishes its sides and, like, and stands up and scoffs and says, "This puppy is underfed. I don't know that Cyric would be satisfied with such a thing."
The puppy has leapt into your arms and it's licking your face. Its big eyes with tears in it. It's nuzzling you with its nose. And it's almost as if it's quickly formed a bond with you.
She quickly, like, pushes it away and whacks it over the head with the flat side of the cleaver to knock. Well, she doesn't want to knock it out, but she wants it to back off.
Okay.
She's gonna ask, wave her sister over and ask, who was in charge of feeding this creature?
The chefs.
Well, they have done a bad job, and can I cast silence
On where?
on me and
Okay.
my area?
Okay, so that will include the puppy and the acolyte right in front of you. Mhm.
Yes, and then I would like to hit her with the 2 meat cleavers.
Okay. And can you make an attack roll, please?
I was staring intently at this. Do I notice suddenly a lack of sound? And something's going down?
Yeah. Can you make a perception check then?
Sure.
You'd have, because it's so far away. It's like about 50 something feet away from you.
Natural
What would
20.
be?
Nat 20. Yeah, you hear that all of a
Alright.
sudden, after the acolyte handed Melody another cleaver,
Okay.
no more sound. It's very strange, actually.
I start coughing violently to draw their attention.
The chefs look at you and say, Ian, get back over there. You shouldn't be down here.
I wander over them. I say, actually, I don't say anything. I just cough louder and I try to make it look like something's wrong with me.
Yeah, Melody, what were you doing?
So what's the attack bonus?
Attack bonus?
Yeah.
Because you're stealthy?
No, like the to hit modifier.
It's whatever your normal one is.
Do I have proficiency with a meat cleaver?
I don't think so. You have light weapons?
That's not a thing. It's simple and martial weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I
I
think
do have proficiency
would-
with simple weapons.
this would
Then-
likely be an improvised weapon.
I would give you proficiency for this. Yeah.
Okay, so then that's a 16 to hit.
Oh, that hits. You can roll damage.
That's a 5 damage,
Okay.
followed by a second attack roll with
Mhm.
the other meat cleaver.
Hmm.
Wow. Well, that's an 8 to hit.
Okay. That misses.
Okay.
But you notice with that first hit, she's like bleeding everywhere, and she's actually fallen prone to the ground. That has almost knocked her out entirely.
Does that mean I can use my second roll with advantage?
Yeah.
And that's a 13 to hit,
That hits.
and that's 1 damage.
Plus
That's enough.
Strength.
She dies?
Oh, yeah. So Melody, let me give you 50 experience points for killing this acolyte.
Okay.
Melody and Silrin, I'm gonna give each of you also 50 experience points for getting into this room and exploring it. Emir, you can also take 30 experience points for same room exploration. And Bat and Sibo, you can also take 40 experience points for helping with the rescue of Ian. On top of that, I'm granting everybody in the party an additional 70 experience points for exploring the library, the southeast part of town, the Black Arms, and the central square.
And can I finish up in the room?
Yeah, and that'll be the last thing that we do.
Okay. And she's going to... So she's dead.
You killed one of the acolytes silently, yes.
Okay, so she's going to prestidigitate her cleavers clean,
Okay.
and she's going to grab blood, which is pooling on the floor, I assume, and smear it all over the dog's face.
Uh-huh.
And she's gonna, invite the dog. She's gonna, shake one of the acolyte's arms and invite the dog to bite it. And then prestidigitate her own self, her own hands clean, but her clothes are probably spattered with blood.
So this is outside of this little cell. You're going to get the dog to bite an acolyte.
No, I want her to take the dead
corpse.
acolyte's arm
Dead
and
acolyte. I got
bite
you.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. And she herself, she's gonna clean herself a little bit, but enough to make it look like she's just been sprayed from afar.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's going to can she banish the silence spell? I think it takes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can
concentration.
And concentration is a free action on your turn.
Yeah.
So she banishes the silent spell and runs out with her meat cleavers and goes, "Help! The dog! She killed our sister!"
Not again! I yell.
Not again. And that is where we're gonna leave it for today. Very interesting teamwork today, I would say. Actually, very clever role playing. No one got attacked in this.
Yeah, I feel like that's about to happen.
Yes, no one got attacked yet, but you definitely got a leg up by finding a way to kind of stealth in there, murder this acolyte, and come up with a story that might actually save this dog from getting murdered.
In a stealth mission, shit always hits the fan. It's one of the like Newtonian laws of D&D. Can't change how it goes.
Well, I mean, at this point, they think Soren is still Ian, the prisoner, and they think Melody is one of them. And Emir is sort of like really playing the "I don't know what I did" card. He doesn't seem to be evil or a cannibal.
I was supposed to be in an initiative or something like that. I think that's what Melody said, and then I'm just like, yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Keep in mind, if anyone ever needs to sneak out, I'm still concentrating. So you still have flat plus 10. That was fun.
Thank you. That was so fun.
Yeah, today was really unexpected. This is not, I mean, again, like I plan things, but I never know what direction you're going to take it. So here we are rescuing a puppy and pretending you're an evil cannibal. And I love that Melody now has 2 meat cleavers once more. I did not anticipate that.
Mwahahaha.
I see blood in her eyes.
Well, I mean, she did just murder somebody.
Yeah, you can't prestidigitate the stain on your soul.
Yeah, this is good, and good teamwork also on solving the puzzle earlier. I guess I'll explain that more later, but
yeah, I did a really good job with that. You guys are welcome. What would you have done with that other than that puzzle?
I think it was good that was skeptical because nothing particularly led you there. Nobody told you, go find this puzzle, go find this underground thing. So there are other pieces of the story, perhaps, that maybe we'll find out next week.